Elden Ring, The Shadow of Erdtree. Probably one of the most expected release in a long time. It has been 10 days since the release of the trailer, and I've got some juicy info for all the fans out there. I've gone through a couple of interviews with Hidetaka Miyazaki, one of them from ING, another from Famitsu.com. Interviews will be linked below, and for those of you who don't like to read, that's what I'm here for. My name is Amar, and welcome to Ragadabdab Gaming Channel. What is interesting for players is Miquela's cocoon at the start. Based on the information Miyazaki gave us, it's located in Mogwin's palace, and that's where the DLC leads us to the Land of Shadow. The new DLC content we can explore on June 21st of 2024. Miyazaki said that the DLC is at least the same size as Limgrave, so the players will get quite some game time. Also, let's not forget that Miyazaki said that it would take around 30 hours to beat Elden Ring, which was a massive undersell. I expect that DLC undersell could be even bigger. There will be 8 new weapon categories and at least 10 new bosses. Elden Ring is getting a new feature where you can level up your attack power separately from your rune level, similar to how attack power works in Sekiro. This means as players defeat their bosses, they claim their memories and increase attack power. At least that was in Sekiro, and Miyazaki said that the new feature will be similar. How it's going to work? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. This just makes sure that even players with higher levels are going to have to suffer, because that's what Souls-like games are. The game gets 8 new weapon types, and God knows how many weapons in total. The DLC is so massive they could easily call it Elden Ring 2, or at least they could call it expansion. So far the 6 weapon types are revealed, and these are dueling shields, reversed grip swords, and some weapons that enable martial arts style combat, which sure looks amazing. Then we have Japanese large swords and a new large sword. Kinda generic name, so I guess this could be something that surprises us all. And last but not least, the throwable weapons. They make all your attacks throwable, even melee attacks. I'm excited to see how that's gonna work. We're gonna talk about lore from this point on, so if you didn't finish the game or don't like the spoilers, you can skip to the end. The DLC is set in the Land of Shadow, and according to the interviews with Miyazaki, it is a place physically disconnected from the lands between. This means the game is not gonna be traveling in time and it's gonna remain in present. In the interview by Famitsu, Miyazaki revealed that the subtitle Shadow of Erdtree has a more hidden meaning. So what could it be? In a trailer we have some clues, like the Land of Shadow, place obscured by Erdtree, where the goddess Marika first set foot. Could it be the birthplace of Marika? Where the goddess Marika first set foot. Since we all know that she is not from the lands between. She is from Numen race, the race outside from the lands between. So that means she could either be from the Land of Shadow or somewhere else entirely, but has first set foot in the Lands of Shadow. In his interview, Miyazaki said that the Land of Shadows is the place where Marika became a god and the Golden Tree was born. As the Erdtree was created, the souls of the dead were supposed to go there and be reborn. But what happened before the Erdtree was created? Where did the souls go? Could it be in the Land of Shadows? Could it be that the Land of Shadow is an afterlife? Some hints could lead to this opinion, but it's all speculation, as Miyazaki intended to be. He intentionally leaves the story open for players to interpret in their own way. The trailer also said, "Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame." So those who are stripped of grace of gold meet the death in the Land of Shadows. Makes sense, right? And since Helfen, a shadowy realm of death, is mentioned in Elden Ring lore, there could be a possibility that this is actually the Land of Shadows, since the Erdtree did disrupt the cycle of life and death before, and the part of the poem, a place obscured by Erdtree, kinda makes sense. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this theory. I might be wrong, but I'm open for a discussion. Also, the big basket of flames guy is actually not a guy at all. It is a weapon, and it was used in the war that happened in the Land of Shadow. And the flames inside are actually bodies put in there to burn. Whose bodies? Well, I'm guessing the enemies, and since Marika came out victorious, I'm guessing her enemies. Again, just a speculation. If you think otherwise, let me know in the comments below. Also, there's this head-sucking bastard which Miyazaki couldn't reveal much about in his interview for IGN, without revealing too much about the story and spoiling the fun for us. What he could talk about was the fiery Snake Man. He continues to explain. There was this piece of key art where it shows Messmer sat in the throne-like chair. People who've played the game may recognize this throne to be one of those from Boss Room where you battle Morgoth. And this represents the thrones at the base of Erdtree. And it's supposed to symbolize that Messmer stands on equal footing to these other demigods and the children of Marika, who sat around in these thrones and held the runes of Erdtree. So he's an important figure who rivals other demigods. And as you play the DLC, you will learn a little about why he wasn't featured in the Legends of Erdtree, the Lands Between. You'll realize why he exists in this land of shadow, without revealing too much not to spoil the story again. Apart from that, he mentions some of the bosses have been tuned in a similar way to likes of Malenia, which is a great news. More suffering, nervous breakdowns and tears. Luckily, he said that they are not crucial to completion of the DLC, so they can be done only if you're up for the challenge. Yay! And lastly, Miyazaki was asked about the future of the game, what are the plans? And although they haven't planned for another DLC or the part 2 of Elden Ring, they are not excluding the possibility. As he said, we don't want to discourage the possibilities for that. There might be some ideas in the future. So him being always a bit secretive about the games and also the massive success the game has had, I believe we are going to see more of the Elden Rings in the future. I sure hope so. So we've come to an end of this trailer analysis. I hope you liked my insight, and if you did, make sure to subscribe for more gameplay, reviews and gaming news.